microphone to Kevin to start.
Congratulations! I like the goggles. It's a nice look.
Yeah.
That game was full of history, and I'm sure you'll find out about all the history. But part of it was you passed Tommy Lasorda for most world, for World Series titles. I think Walter Alston actually has more. But what does that mean to you?
Yeah, it's hard to reconcile that one. I've just got so much respect for Tommy and what he did in the game, and so it's just right now I'm just really elated and really proud of our team, our guys, the way we fought, and we've done something that hasn't been done in decades. And there were so many, as we talked earlier, so many pressure points and how that game could have flipped, and we just kept fighting, and guys stepped up big. So I could just go on and on about the big plays, the big performances, and this is one of the greatest games I've ever been a part of. And this whole series and what the Blue Jays did, and they gave us everything they had, and just such a first-class organization.
You can smell the champagne from here. You pressed the right button at every juncture, especially tonight, but throughout this series. I don't even know what the question is. Can you talk a little bit about how you
I just think it just goes down to just trusting your players. And, it's nice when you can look down the roster and have 26 guys that you believe in and know that at some point in time their number's going to be called. And that's kind of what happened. And so, Miggy Rowe, I talk about the game honors you, and, right there the game honored him. He does things the right way, and he deserved that moment. And what Yoshi did tonight, is unprecedented, in modern day baseball. And, just the young guys coming out there with the arms and just the big plays. And again, it's been a long season, man. We started out in Tokyo and ended up north of the border. So just proud of this group of guys.
Good. Jack in the second row.
Dave, what was the mood in the dugout like when Miguel was coming up there in the ninth, and just being able to manage that game with the way it started and the deficit you guys faced? What did it show you about your club that you guys were able to come
we
back
were going to play 27 outs, and obviously it doesn't look great, in that moment. But I trust him to take the at bat, and he got a pitch that he could handle and hit the biggest hit he's ever had in his life. And obviously at that point in time we felt real good about it, and we needed a next level performance from Yama, and we got it.
Can you walk through just the pitching maneuvers from Snell to Yama and then sticking with him once you got to the 11th, just kind of what was going through your brain those last couple innings?
Yeah, I'm still trying to unpack it. Yeah, Snell was good. I just felt that, he gave us what he had, and I think Glass pitched before him. Honestly, I just kind of try to push guys as much as they could, and having Emmett in there, and Robo doing his thing, got some big outs. And for me at that point in time, I wanted to give Roki or Yamamoto an opportunity to keep the game at bay. And then once he did that, he felt confident that he could stay in his delivery, wasn't going to compromise health. And then at that point in time, even for that third up, he said "Daijobu," means I'm okay. And so for me, I just trusted him, and he came up big again.
We've asked you about the dynasty question a couple times over the years. I mean, do you look at this as cementing that? Just what does going back to back and winning 3 and 6 years kind of mean to what you guys have put together here?
We've put together something pretty special. I do know that. I'm proud of, the players, for the fans, scouting, player development, all this stuff. To do what we've done in this, span of time is pretty remarkable. And I guess I'll let the pundits and all the fans talk about if it's a dynasty or not. But I'm pretty happy with where we're at.
Go to Steve and then Jim.
Congratulations. I want to ask you a couple questions about Yamamoto. You've dealt with pitchers before. Is there something in his physiology, the way he approaches, what he did tonight is sort of unheard of?
It's unheard of, and I think that there's a mind component. There's a delivery, which is a flawless delivery, and there's just an unwavering will. I just haven't seen it. I really haven't. And, all that combined, and there's certain players that want moments, and there's certain players that, want it for the right reasons. But, Yoshi is a guy that I just completely, implicitly trust, and he's made me a pretty dang good manager.
Are there things, though, that's just part of his makeup? Does he throw differently? Because you usually are not able to do what he did tonight, throw a lot of pitches. And then is there something just in his style?
Well, it's just he uses his body very efficiently, and it's the whole engine that works and not just the arm. So he's just very efficient with his delivery.
Can you just expand?
I can't go into all that. That's not.
Little bit?
No.
Okay.
No.
We'll go to Jim.
I guess my first question would be, how do you say bulldog in Japanese?
Yeah, good question. We got a lot of people that can answer that question.
I mean, what he did tonight, what Bueller did in the ninth inning last year. I mean, similarities, differences. What did you see?
Yeah, similarities. Walker is obviously in Dodger lore, and Yoshi just put himself right there with him. Throwing 100 pitches and come back after a 1 day off and going 3 innings. It's pretty crazy. I'm kind of crazy for sending him back out there, but I just felt he was the best option, and again, it's something that I just never imagined. But you got to trust players, and I believed in him. We all believed in him, and yeah, this game again, I'm having a hard time unpacking it. Just what a great series, what a great game, and I think we're going to be talking about this game for a long time.
And the other thing, I mean, you guys started in March in Japan. You started before anybody else, and you're the last team standing. And there's been a lot of ups and downs this season. I mean, if you could put that into a few words, what this roller coaster has been like this year.
Yeah, I mean, you can look back at the miles that we've logged this year. I think Brene Brown comes to mind. Grit, the real definition of grit, passion, and perseverance for a long-term goal, and we never wavered. And it's a long season. We started, as you said, in Tokyo, and we kept going, and we persevered, and we were the last team standing.
Go to Anthony, fifth row, straight back.
Doc, congrats. As you said, this was not just a great game, but a great series. And people talk about in baseball mapping out innings or what have. There was so many things that happened in the series that could not have been mapped out, especially the 18
It wasn't
game.
mapped out.
What can you say about just these two teams just emptying the tank against each other?
That's what it's about. I mean, those guys, I got so much respect for what John does with his team and his staff and organization, and they gave us everything we had. It was just a brawl, and both teams fighting and punching back and responding, and yeah, I mean, it's just I'm speechless. I really am. I mean, it's going to go down in one of the ages, Anthony. And as I'm answering, I kind of forgot your question. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, you used your entire rotation.
Yeah.
It's like these are things that we don't.
Yeah, and I think the thing is that, you look at around the room and you just see guys and everyone wants to participate. And you just got to figure out when's the right time to call their number and know, when to bet on them, when to push them, when to pull the plug. And it just makes it a lot easier where I just know these guys are ready for whatever moment that I ask of them.
Do a couple last ones. Yuka in the third row.
Congratulations. I know Yoshinobu did really well, but this season and this whole year, you had 3 Japanese players and participated with the Dodgers. And how do you evaluate those 3 players?
They were all different. I think Shohei obviously has the weight of the world on his shoulders as far as expectations, being probably the face of baseball. Certainly when you're talking about the world and what he did on, he's going to be the MVP in the National League. It's just really special what he's done, and just a great person and a great competitor. Yoshinobu is one of the top pitchers in all of baseball. I think he's shown that this postseason and this year. And Roki, Roki's a young player who really had a tough time early and found a way to kind of get back to being healthy and really contribute in a huge way. And so there's a lot of growth in Roki this year. And I know the people in Japan are very proud of their players, and we're just very lucky to have them.
One last one for Doc. I will finish up right there in the left. We'll get you the microphone.
I'm just curious to know, with the offense struggling the way it was throughout the series, how does that impact the way you manage the pitching staff? What's the feeling in the dugout, knowing that this team really hasn't hit in the way that prior World Series champions have historically? How did you work that out with the pitching
Yeah,
staff?
you got to sort of they were grinding, but yeah, we didn't swing the bats, all postseason like we're capable of. So I think it's just more of you're really trying to, on the margins, prevent as many runs as you can, because it wasn't really expecting an offensive game. And so certainly in a do or die Game 7, you're trying to do the best you can to prevent runs. But Miggy's hit, Will Smith's hit, just huge hits. And again, I'm just exhausted.
Well, we're so happy for you. Congratulations,
Thank you,
Dave.
guys.